My name is Naomi Adasua, and for the first time in my life, I am speaking without a mask, no shadows, no hidden voice, no fear of the covens that once owned me like a slave. If anyone had told me 6 years ago that I would sit in front of a camera and confess the things I did, the lives I destroyed, the families I raised altars against, I would have laughed. Back then, darkness was my protection. It was my identity. It was my air. I grew up in Edo State in a family that looked perfect on the surface. People saw culture, discipline, and unity. But behind the smiles lived something ancient and unspoken. My grandmother was a priestess. Not the kind that reads psalms or carries a rosary, but one who carried old secrets and dangerous spiritual powers. And without knowing, she carried destinies too. From childhood, I was marked. I didn't choose witchcraft. Witchcraft chose me. Slowly, quietly, intentionally. It started with dreams. Dark dreams. Dreams of feasts with strangers. Dreams of shadows whispering my name. Dreams where I ate things no child should ever see. When I was 10, I was initiated. Not with blood, not with chanting, not with rituals, but with food. Yes, food. And today I want to expose the 3 most powerful ways witches use food to blind spiritual eyes and deafen spiritual ears, especially in this season when people eat carelessly. But before I reveal them, you need to understand why food is one of the deadliest spiritual gates in the realm of darkness. Because if you understand that, you will never treat a meal as just food again. People think witchcraft is about flying at night, dancing around fire, or wearing beads soaked in blood. That's only the surface. The real operation is exchange. In the spirit, eating is not just eating. Eating is agreement. Eating is partnership. Eating is acceptance. That's why even God used food to establish covenants. Passover, communion. Food is a gate. So when believers casually say, it's just food, it's not that serious, I shake my head, because that just food could be a spiritual padlock. When witches want to shut down your discernment, they attack your mouth. Your mouth is a gate. Your tongue is a gate. Your stomach is a gate. Spiritual sight can be buried through what you swallow. The first time my own spiritual eyes closed, I didn't even know it happened. One cold Harmattan morning, my grandmother gave me a small bowl of pap. It tasted normal, but that night my spirit didn't sleep. I found myself in a room filled with women in white wrappers, sitting on short stools, murmuring strange incantations. One of them placed her hand on my head and whispered, "Eat with us and you will see." But when I woke up, I didn't see. Not physically, spiritually. My prophetic awareness faded. My dreams became foggy. I stopped noticing danger. I stopped seeing the shadows around people. A veil covered my spiritual eyes, and I never knew it came from food. Witches operate on levels. Programming food physically through touch or intention. Feeding people in dreams. Using ancestral altars to influence certain foods automatically, and performing coven rituals on meals meant for many destinies at once. Weddings, funerals, birthdays, December gatherings. That is how spiritual blindness spreads fast. Now listen as I reveal what we used the most, especially in festive seasons when people drop their guard. Rice, especially party rice, the food of collective blindness. That jollof rice you rush to eat at weddings and birthdays. You don't know the hands it passed through. In our coven, rice was called the seed carrier. Each grain represented a person. Program one pot, and you can touch hundreds at once. One December, we were assigned to shut down the discernment of the youth in my village. A tragedy was coming the next year, and we needed them blind to it. While people danced and celebrated, we stirred the rice in the spirit realm. Every youth that ate it became spiritually numb for 8 months. Prayer fire disappeared. Addictions rose. Sexual sin increased. Opportunities vanished, all from rice. Then there was meat, fried chicken, goat meat. The food of spiritual deafness. Meat represents flesh. When witches want to weaken someone's resistance to sin or dull their ability to hear God, they program meat. There was a young pastor who threatened our operations. He was sharp, prayerful, and dangerous to us. We couldn't attack him directly. His prayer life was a shield, but he loved fried chicken. That was our entry point. We invoked, chanted, and programmed the chicken at a youth Thanksgiving. 2 weeks after he ate it, his dreams became noisy. His decisions became careless. His fasting life collapsed. His discernment dropped. Nothing touched him physically. It was food, then sweet things, drinks, desserts, snacks. The food of spiritual sedation. Sweetness represents pleasure, and in the spirit realm, pleasure can be turned into sleep. People who overload on sweet things during celebrations often feel heaviness when praying, weakness during fasting, mental fog, return of old sins, and emotional instability. This was my specialty. I was assigned to destroy a women's prayer group in Lagos. Women who prayed fire every midnight. We couldn't penetrate directly, so we entered through cakes and drinks at a baby shower. Within 14 days, their unity shattered. Two fell into sin. One lost her pregnancy, and their entire group collapsed, all from sweet things. Witchcraft through food is real, but deliverance is real too. What saved me was fasting. Isaiah 58. Fasting purged years of spiritual deposits from my body. Praying over food. 1 Timothy 4:5. Blessing your food breaks programming. Discernment. Don't eat everywhere. Don't accept food from everyone. Holy Communion reversed everything they planted in me. Renunciation prayers broke every food covenant night after night. The night God delivered me, I vomited. Not food, not liquid, but things. Things I ate in dreams. Things sitting inside me for years. I screamed for hours. And when it was over, my eyes opened, my ears opened, and I saw the coven clearly. But I saw God even more clearly. If you're hearing me right now, be vigilant. This is the season when programmed food moves around casually, but God has given us authority. Pray. Sanctify your meals. Stay awake. My name is Naomi, and I have spoken my truth. If God saved me, He can save you too.